from last week, the gentleman that was hearing voices.
Which
Whatever.
Which one? Wasn't there like
the guy, the second caller, the guy who basically didn't want to go to the.
That was Teddy.
Teddy. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually knew someone, like a friend of a friend or whatever, who basically was hearing voices in his head, and he ended up going getting some help. Mm-hmm. And ended up being like a tumor, or like either a tumor or it's like a stroke or something. Or something.
And I think that John, I think it was John that was on with me, and he even said like, "Hey, this could be a physical issue that you need to get checked out." You know. So yes, I mean, we had some real concern there.
Hopefully Teddy's listening in today. And
he did show up at the blog, and some people gave him a lot of feedback, a lot of empathetic feedback. So hopefully, he can figure his situation out and do what's best.
Yeah, that's pretty cool,
I think so.
But anyway, the main reason why I'm calling is, and let me preface this kind of a little bit. It's probably going to be a little confusing and probably a little simplistic in a way, but in a way it's not. But like religious people, like Christians and others, I kind of like religious people that don't change their mind on their religions. I notice like basically fall into three basic camps. The people that are unable to change their minds about religion, i.e. like head injured people or whatever. Mm-hmm. People that are just like total jerks about it. They just refuse to look at the evidence or whatever. Like basically saying why that there is no God or whatever.
Sure.
And the people that don't look at the evidence, but they're kind of stuck in their ways. They just kind of they're good-natured. They're basically good-natured, but well-meaning, but they still kind of get stuck in the religious bit.
Well, that's I think what the other callers were saying. People are religious for a lot of different reasons.
Yeah, but pretty much, for different reasons, but and like the people that are like for whatever reason can't deal with it or can't change their minds, and people that are just jerks about it. Like I don't really deal with people like that too much, and thankfully I don't have anyone that I know on a regular basis that are like that. But most of the people I know that are religious are of the type that are well-meaning.
Oh, good.
But they play lip service to like, oh yeah, I look into all this stuff, but they actually don't, They like look into history and look into like the scientific stuff and blah blah blah, but they actually don't. Sorry if that doesn't make sense. I'm probably a little nervous, but how do you guys deal with that type of person? The person that like they're smart enough to look into more like the scientific stuff and all that, but they don't.
I'm not sure that that's the person who's calling the show. I mean, do you see that person on the phone a lot with us? Because I think most people who are not inclined to care enough to look something up are probably not going to be inclined enough to pick up a phone and call the show to defend their beliefs.
Well, I've heard a few people calling up your show, like basically like generally speaking, like you can't think of any things in person, but basically like a couple of times, not too often, calling up the show, like who just refuse to see that there might be good nature, like the little old lady or whatever. Oh, God bless you, just the same. Even though I've noticed that a little bit, but as I said, I run into people like that more. Like case in point, my mother, 65 years old. She's religious. She's smarter than anything. But like all the studying, but religious as anything is said. She studies up on religion and all that, but like actually uses religious material to basically confirm.
Right, I understand.
Religious stuff. And like every so often, like actually send clips from you guys sometimes, or like clips of videos from like other people, like common sense. Like I don't know if I'm sure you guys know of Richard Shermer, like this skeptic guy.
I know Michael Shermer.
A lot of clips from him and all that.
Yeah.
But my mother refuses to basically refuses to take that stuff seriously and just looks at like the history through.
Is she? I mean, has she expressed an interest in receiving these clips?
Not really.
That may be the problem. I'm just going to take a guess that she's getting unsolicited material and saying, gee, thank you very much for your concern.
Yeah.
I mean, it may be that she's interpreting this as what you might think of as, I'll pray for you, right?
Pretty much. You know,
yeah, and so the problem here is that she's not looking for a difference or a change.
Yeah. It's kind of a shame, and like I don't know like how you guys deal with that yourself. I just kind of like after a while, just kind of like learn not. We don't really get into arguments per se, but we can get more like the discussions, and I cut back before things get into like arguments. I'm lucky enough to be able to do that, but
I guess I'm wondering. I mean, does she ever initiate these conversations? Sorry, I'm not supposed to snap my pen, and I am.
Yeah, pretty fair amount. There's actually a period of time where she was trying to, convert me, and like because she was like worried about my soul.
Okay,
blah,
so
blah, blah.
she was pitching. She was in there pitching. Okay, and then she stopped.
For a while, but before I told her, like, hey, Ma, chill out.
Okay, so so now she's sort of getting payback, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like I don't know. She understands, it sounds like, that you don't believe what she believes. She made her pitch, and then it sounds like she backed off after a bit and kind of sank into her that she wasn't going to get anywhere. You're pitching her some stuff. It's
aggravating, though, because as I said, if like the person is brain injured and can't think like past their thing, that's one thing. Or if or if they're like totally argumentative and they just like refuse to, they're honest about it. That's another thing. But people who think they're like my mother thinks
apathetic.
She basically thinks she's like curious about like atheist stuff, but she's actually not. And that's
often does she bring it up anymore? Like any of this? Is she still bring it up?
Rarely. Once in a while, she'll like come up with like God's looking out for you, or she'll mention like my name being like brother of Moses, like your name is like has religious meaning, so so you're special. That means you're gonna be in a special spot or whatever, and blah blah blah, and like little jabs like that more than actual.
That's a little weird, yeah.
What do you think about this or whatever,
I mean, maybe take those opportunities where she initiates something. If nothing else, it'll maybe squelch those few initiations that you still get.
I actually, my mom was actually like that.
Go for it. Talk to this man.
My mom actually did that for a while. And, at first I thought, the little jabs, I'll get right back, But it took me living my best life. And if I'm going to give any advice, it's that. Live your best life, because what you're doing is you are quietly and consistently showing that all of those preconceptions about atheists are wrong. And if you continue to behave in empathy and be kind and, just be happy, then she'll notice. People do notice. And it took a very I did not expect my mother to approach me about atheism.
Don't hide your light under a bushel.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Sounds familiar. Yeah, I was just completely blindsided when she was just like, so this atheism thing, tell me about it one day. I was like, what? We had a moratorium for years. Like, now we're doing this? Okay. But, just do that, man. Because for somebody who doesn't want to talk about or argue about it, they can't deny when you are just the good person that you are, right? Yeah,
exactly. And that's certainly how I try to live my life anyway, like actions, not words, kind of thing. But as you say, like in general, anyway, but especially with my mother, show people that atheists aren't like these evil little trolls or whatever that hate religion or whatever,
And then you send her clips of Matt and Jeff D.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
maybe not the best one.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think that was actually really good advice. I can't top that.
Yeah, that is awesome advice,
Okay.
Dear diary.
Thank you very much. Another
Tracie said I had great advice.
Quickie random question. I'm sorry, and I'll let you guys go.
Okay.
It kind of has to do with like that whole, like my mother did this a little bit, but more in a general sense. Like C.S. Lewis, who was famous for being an atheist, or was it? He was an atheist who ended up becoming religious.
Oh, I don't know if he was an atheist. I know his writing.
Or like one way or another, he's known to be religious.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Have you guys ever got this? And so what's up with this? Like my mother, and I've heard a few other people doing this, but my mother gave me a few of his books, mainly like Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe book.
Okay.
And I think, like in a general sense, and they're not bad books, but in a general sense, hey, you read these, you might like these, but it seems like I've seen other people doing that. And
I think that's an opportunity for a book exchange. Right? I will read your books. I have a book you might like, Mom. Why don't we each read each other's books and then come together and talk about our books that we read?
Yeah, but oh yeah, I've done that a few times with her. You know, I'm more like general history stuff. But is that like a common
I'd be
thing
leaning toward
people?
Hitch.
Like I've noticed that a few things where like here's a good book from a religious author that has nothing to do with the religion, but might turn you religious just the same.
Or even Bart Ehrman would be a good, good primer.
You know, what's funny is I was a kid in the church, and the first Harry Potter books were coming out, and the California version of Hamish was he was this elder in my church, and he was complaining about Harry Potter, how it teaches witchcraft and wizardry, and how, you know, you're going to be saying the magic words and inviting the devil into your soul. And I'm listening, and I was reading it, and I was like, it's just weird Latin. It's Latin-y sounding stuff, but and I said it. I spoke up. That was not good. But he said, how dare you? You know, you're crossing into the devil's territory. And I looked, and we were in the Christian bookstore, and C.S. Lewis, the whole Chronicles of Narnia, was on the freaking shelf. And I looked, I was like, that has magic. Oh, that's just an allegory for Christ.
Yeah.
What?
I haven't read the whole thing. I've read I think like the first 1.5, and I've noticed that there might be some religious stuff, but that there's just as much magic in there, you know. But I think that's okay since it does have, you know, religious allegories or whatever, you know, and Harry Potter is a bunch of. You know,
but those are good wishes, and that's a dangerous message.
Mm.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, well, we're gonna let you go, Aaron.
Hey, thank you very much. I'm sorry if I'm rambling a little bit.
That's all right. Sometimes it takes a little bit to get your thoughts together, so.
It was a good call.
Yeah. Have a good evening, and good luck with your mom.
Have a good.
Okay, bye.
I enjoyed the talk. Thank you very much.
Take care.
Okay.